One of my favorite scenes in the movie Cars is when Lightning McQueen has just finished repaving the road that he tore up. I love this scene because the whole town comes out to drive on the really smooth new pavement, and it reminds me of how we're all on this journey in our lives. We're all on a road right now, and for some of us the road is really smooth. For others the road is really bumpy. Maybe it's not as nicely paved, but for some the road is really, really rocky. Maybe it's not paved at all. Maybe there are a bunch of twists and turns in it. There are rocks and roots, and they don't quite know how to navigate it because it's a really tough road, and if you're not careful you might end up in the ditch. But I like the scene particularly because all of the cars come out and it's like they've had a long, hard day and they're finally getting on a smooth path. And I think that that's comparable to our lives. I mean, each of us has our own trials. We all go through different stages at different times in our lives, but at some point we will all be on the unpaved, twisted, curvy road that we might not know will have an exit, or maybe it'll just be a dead end. But I really like that we all have our own experiences. And I think that for some of us, the road might look harder for other people. But that doesn't mean that we should discount our own experiences. Take, for example, Helen Keller. She was blind and deaf and mute for the first part of her life. She didn't know how to communicate, and the world was black to her until she had somebody show her what the world could be. And I think that that's an incredible story of dedication and resilience and inspiration that we should all strive to follow. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that your trial with a close family member's death or mental illness is any less important than hers was. We each have our own trial, and we all suffer differently, but that doesn't mean that our trials are any less than anybody else's. I know that sometimes it's easy to look at those who have gone through really hard times, like maybe a cancer survivor or somebody who's been through a natural disaster or somebody who's been abused, and compare that to our own lives. But we shouldn't necessarily have to do that. I mean, we are all different, and that's good. And it's good that we all have different experiences so that we can help each other learn and progress from that. So while we're all on this road, some of us are on different parts, but as we come back from those twisted and curved, unpaved roads and come back to the paved ones, we can help those who maybe go off of the paved path for whatever reason. And we can show empathy and help guide them back, or just help them navigate their own path. Because it's not like we can necessarily choose when we're on a smooth path or when we're on a bumpy path. But I think that we each have our own road to travel. And as we acknowledge those trials and face them head on, no matter how difficult they are, eventually we'll get back to the paved road. And I really like that about life. Sometimes the unpaved road is really, really long, but other times the paved road is really long as well. So just remember that we're all on a different part of the journey, but we're all on a journey and we're all in this together.